It's one of the most common mistakes made by tourists visiting the capital, referring to Tower Bridge as London Bridge. But Charles Lawley got so fed up with the catalogue of errors, he took it upon himself to correct their mistakes. And being a know-it-all clearly pays off. He's attracted hundreds of new followers as a result. And joining me in the studio is the man himself. Now, you're quite active on Instagram and other picture-sharing websites, correcting people. I mean, how did you get started on becoming that person?
Well, I'm from Derbyshire originally, and I moved to London about 7 years ago. And a friend of mine had visited London, and she'd done the usual thing, photo of her with Tower Bridge, saying, "Here I am with London Bridge." And I said, "Well, I'm just going to be a bit of a stickler here and tell you that's not London Bridge." And then I just sort of searched for the hashtag London Bridge, and all you can see is just multitudes of photos of Tower Bridge. And I thought, this is the way to make friends, by getting in touch with strangers and correcting their mistakes. And I'll be honest, I've not made as many friends as first forecast.
No, have you had much of a backlash? What's people's reaction when you do that on their posts?
Some people will say thank you. Some people will argue, well, it technically is London Bridge, and well, no, it's not.
Oh, so that's a strange technical argument to make.
Yeah, one person argued that it actually highlights confusion and that we should rename it London Bridge, but I don't see how calling two bridges the same bridge within a mile of each other is going to stop confusion. Yeah.
I mean, are tourists to blame there? Because, of course, there is this quite historic confusion of Tower Bridge versus London Bridge when an American decided to buy London Bridge and, in fact, thought he was buying Tower Bridge and didn't.
I think the person to blame is the architect behind Tower Bridge.
Oh, right.
Because it's too flashy.
Too flashy?
Yeah, it's a bit of a show-off. And well, you've got London Bridge, which is just down the river, which is nice and understated. People think London Bridge, and they go for this big flash Dan up the river, when I think you should be looking at this poor... I mean, it's also got a bad reputation, London Bridge, because London Bridge is falling down. It's not falling down. And this bridge is got a bad reputation falling down, and and Tower Bridge is getting so much publicity.
Yeah, but photograph-wise, would you not see that Tower Bridge perhaps is a little bit more eye-catching for tourists?
Yeah, but...
I mean, look at it, that's the view out this morning, all lit up, looking rather stately, wouldn't you say?
That is a lovely photo of London Bridge. It looks good, but it's just poor London Bridge. Poor London Bridge is getting no publicity. It needs better PR.
Better PR. So are you sticking your focus very much on the Tower Bridge, London Bridge, or have you started to discover other mistakes made by tourists in London? I
did. The other night I had a look, I searched for hashtag Forth Road Bridge, and someone had taken a photo of the Forth Rail Bridge, and I thought, yeah, I want a piece of this actually.
Is it just bridges then?
Oh, just bridges. I did for New Year's Day, for a little special treat for myself. I went through hashtag Big Ben, and saw everyone who'd put Elizabeth Tower, and I thought I'd correct a few of them for a little New Year's Day treat. But yeah.
How much time do you dedicate to this and think you're going to carry on this for?
A lot of people have said, have you not got anything better to do? And I do, I just don't do it. I don't know, it's quite easy to do. I mean, I did a few in the car on the way here, just search hashtag London Bridge, and you can see loads of them just go through. And I have it copy and pasted, that's Tower Bridge, not London Bridge, and just ready to fire at any point. And now it's took off, you need to be on your toes, because there's a lot of people joining in, telling people they're wrong about the bridges.
Yeah, you have kind of built an army behind you, haven't you? There's a lot of people picking up and checking up on this hashtag.
Yeah, when it went viral earlier last week, it was mayhem on Instagram. It was like if you put a photo up of Tower Bridge with the hashtag London Bridge, it was like that scene in Silence of the Lambs when when Jodie Foster first walks into the mental asylum, and they're all there shouting at her and abusing it, and that's what happened. And it was getting a bit scary. I was actually feeling sorry for these people and just saying, look, take this down now. You've made a mistake, I'll explain later, but you're in for trouble.
I mean, do you think there were any kind of section of tourists that perhaps more prone to getting it wrong? Do you think there's a country that perhaps needs a little bit more education on the landmarks of London?
No, I've not noticed a particular country. But yeah, I've not been sort of hounding out people by nationality and doing a graph. Oh, I should though. That's a good idea. I think that's what I'm going to do after this. Do graphs of countries, and maybe a map of which country has the biggest black hole in bridge knowledge.
I feel like you should do an explainer. You know, if you're going out there telling people which one isn't, you know, are you putting up photographs of your favourite bridge, London Bridge? Are you providing a visual cue for people to follow?
No, you can't hold their hands too much. People have got to learn for themselves. Yeah, I'm not the parents. I'll tell them whether wrong, but they can teach themselves.
Okay, great. Thank you.